So Python is easy to learn as compared to other programming languages. Its syntax is straightforward and much the same as the English language. In case if you want to write any Python based program, it's quite easy. When we compare with other programming languages like a Java, so let's say I want to print a hello world on the screen. In Java, you have to use a syntax called system.out.println. Within the brackets, you have to write the string that is hello world. But whereas in Python, you have to simply write print, open bracket, double quotes. You have to mention the string hello world. It's that easy. Learning is easy. Writing or developing codes is easy in Python. In case if you already ignored C language, leave it because C language is for only the operating system development kind of applications. If you want to develop such applications, you have to use C language. In case if you want to become a developer, like a mobile app developer or web app developer or desktop app developer or any other advanced tools or apps, if you want to develop, the basic point is you have to be good at Python programming language. And it's easy to learn. As I told you, you have to write a proper syntax. And there is no use of the semicolon or curly brackets in the Python language. But here you have to follow the indentation. It's very important because we don't have any semicolons or curly brackets in Python. But how the compiler will execute Python code. So it will always depends upon the indentation. It defines the code blocks. So let me give you the clarity. So if you look at the screen here, so for example, I want to write one simple code like print hello. So if you observe here, I'm not placing any semicolon here and no need of these curly braces. In Python, we have to leave one space within the uh, code blocks. For example, if you want to define, let's say we are familiar with if block, right? So you have to write a condition over here, whatever the condition you want to write, you can write within these brackets. Instead of these curly braces, you have to maintain indentation. So it's very important in Python, indentation. The indentation is nothing but leaving one space after each and every loop to define the code block. It's just a space. No need to mention any kind of a symbol. It's just a space, one tab space you have to leave to define the code block. See here, I want to write if my condition, if A is equal to B, I want to print A and B are same. I want to print this statement. So I want to define this code block. So I have to leave one space. That is the indentation, right? So there is no use of the semicolon or curly brackets. The indentation define the code block. It is the recommended programming language for the beginners. See, in this class, first day class, I'm going to teach you very basics. And one more point I have to give, I have to inform, that is I'm going to finish your syllabus book. I have your syllabus copy with me. There are 5 modules. Please be with me next 30 days or 35 days. I'm going to cover each and every topic which is there in your syllabus book, right? With the examples, with the proper notes. Everything I'll give you, you don't worry about it. So I'm going to teach each and every topic, including basics to advanced level. So next, Python can perform complex tasks using few lines of code. A simple example, the hello world program. You simply type print hello world. It will take only one line to execute, while Java or C takes multiple lines. As I already discussed with you, in Java, you have to write a main class. Within the main class, you have to write system.out.println. and within the bracket, you have to mention hello world. In C language, you have to define libraries, that is hash include stdio.h, then main block. Then you have to write the print statement, printf, right? If you want to print a simple hello world, we have to follow the structure there. But in Python, no need to write any main method or no need to define any header file. Directly, you can print, you can use a print method to print hello world on the screen. So let me open online GDB. So here is online GDB, and I'm going to select the programming language Python. After selecting the Python, let me remove these comments. If you observe here, I have only one line. I don't have any main method and I don't have any library file, right? So I have just a print statement along with the string hello world. Let me run the file. See, I got the output hello world. So Python can perform excuse, complex tasks using a few lines of code. A simple example, that is hello world program, right? So interpreted language. Python is an interpreted language. What is the meaning of interpreted? It means the Python program is executed one line at a time. How the compiler will execute this Python program? Compiler will read the program line by line, executed one line at a time. The advantage of being interpreted language is it makes debugging easy and portable. See, if you have 100 lines, if I execute all the 100 lines at a time, you may get few errors, right? For example, load. CPU should execute the entire program at a time means it's a kind of a load, right? It's a load on compiler and CPU. So instead of that, if it is an interpreted language, you can execute code line by line. So if I execute code line by line, there is a less chance to get errors because we are going to debug the errors easily. So it's a Python is a interpreted language. Interpreted means compiler will execute the program one line at a time. So what is the advantage of being interpreted language is it makes debugging easy. And Python is a cross-platform language. So what is the cross-platform? It can run equally on different platforms. So we can call it as a cross-platform language, or we can say native programming, NATIV. See what it means exactly. For example, I have written code in Windows, Python code on Windows. I can execute the same code in Linux, I mean, the other operating system. I can execute the same code in Unix. So, as you are first year student, you might have familiar with the operating systems, right? In IT workshop, you have seen Windows operating system, how to install, and Unix, Linux operating system, CentOS. There are multiple operating systems. We have a disadvantage in Java. That is, not in Java, in C actually. That is, if I write program in Windows, I can execute that program in only Windows, not in Unix or not in Linux. I can't execute because that's not a cross-platform language. Whereas advanced programming languages like Java, Python, these are cross-platform languages. So that means write once, run anywhere. That's a slogan for these advanced programming languages. If you write your program once, you can execute the same program in different platforms. So we can say that Python is a portable language. It enables programmers to develop the software for several platforms by writing a single code. So let me give you one real-time example. For example, I'm a developer. I want to design one mobile app, right? So I designed one mobile app. For example, there are users who are using iPhones, Android mobile phones, right? Majority of the Indian users are Android, and the second majority is iPhone, right? So if I develop one application in Android, I can execute that application in all the Android phones, but not in the iPhones. Yes or no? Because these two are the two different operating system mobile phones, two different platforms. Now, I designed the same application. I have written the code in Python. Now I can execute the same application in Python and I can execute the same app in Android as well as iOS. So that is called cross-platform. Here I'm writing code only once, but I'm executing the same application in different platforms. So that is the cross-platform language, or that is a cross-platform code or app. That is a native apps, native, N-A-T-I-V-E, native code. We can also call it as hybrid apps. So multiple synonyms for this cross-platform. We can say cross-platform apps or hybrid apps or native apps. So you can use any word. And Python is free and open source. So Python is freely available for everyone. You can just download it from the python.org. In case if you are using your own laptop or your own system, try to download Python ideally so that you can write your codes and save them in your own PC. I'll try to share how to install Python in your personal systems. I'll record the video and I'll post it to you. Anyways, and I'm going to record this session and I'll update this session link also. And yeah, it's freely available on its official website, that is python.org. It has a large community across the world that is dedicatedly working towards make a new Python modules and functions. So every 3 months you will get a module. Every 3 months they will update. You will get updates from the Python official websites because that's open source. You can just download it and or you can update your exe file and you can use it. So next important point, object-oriented language. Python is a object-oriented programming language. So don't worry, I'll take more 5 minutes. I'm not going to spend much time on theory. Don't worry about it. Yeah. So please look at the screen. I'm using a word called oops. In Java, we have oops concept. The abbreviation of the oops is object oriented programming. So if you observe here, I have S alphabet also. What stands for this S? You can ask your seniors what's S stands for. You know, oops, you have, see, they might have uh, familiar with this word oops. You just ask them what is the abbreviation of oops. So they'll say object oriented programming. Now you ask what stands for S. They don't know what's S stands for. I'm sure about it. 80% students are not aware of this S, I think. Okay, yeah. Because S have two different meanings. One is system, and the second meaning is structure. S stands for system and structure. As I told you, it's a open source language. It's a free and open source, not Java or Python. Both are having the same concepts. But Python is quite easy and there are advanced modules are available in Python, right? So S stands for system and the structure. System definition given by the IBM and the structure given by the Google. As it is an open source, anybody can, but Python organization should approve that definition. So Python organization, official organization already approved these two definitions. That is the system and structure. System definition given by the IBM and structured definition given by the Google. So Python supports object-oriented programming language, and concepts of classes and object comes into existence. See, after learning the basics like variable, keywords, syntax, after that, you have to start your programming with this oops. It's very, 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 very important. Without oops, there is no applications. There is no real-time applications, no websites, no mobile apps, no desktop apps, right? So you might have heard about the data types, variables, keywords, all are basics. After that, you should start arrays, functions. After that, you have to start your programming concept is oops. We already started our programming journey. Uh, that what is the last concept in C language? You learned variables, data types, and functions, arrays, next file concepts, pointers. You don't worry about the pointers. We don't have a pointers in Python. These are the basics. Next, we have to start our programming journey with this oops. I think it's new for you, oops concept. All right? Yeah. Next. So we have a n number of modules like large standard libraries. So Python provides vast range of libraries for the various fields such as machine learning, web development, and also for the scripting. So there are various machine learning libraries such as Pandas, NumPy, Keras, PyTorch, so Django. All these are the frameworks which supports Python language for the web development. And we have GUI programming. Yes, it's very important and interesting concept. See, in C language, we designed few applications, right? So what are the applications? Restaurant bill generator, metro ticket, right? We used only text-based output, right? We got only text-based outputs, right? But here we are going to use a concept called GUI, graphical user interface. Is used for developing desktop applications. Uh, Python supports GUI. We'll teach you this GUI as well. So you don't worry about it. So next, that's all about the theory. Let me start with the basic concept. So I already explained Python indentation, right? Indentation refers to the space at the beginning of the code block. So now I just want to start with a simple example. So here I want to write or add two numbers. Let's say A is equal to 10, B is equal to 5. So print A plus B. If I write like this, so it will create a memory for A value and B value here 10, 5. So here, if you observe in the third line, I'm performing A plus B, 10 plus 5, I will get 15 on the screen, right? So that is fine. But here, if you observe, it's a variable and it's a value, right? I'm providing variable and a value. Here I'm using an operator called is equal to, assignment operator. So let me write the same program. I got the output. Uh, can you please look at the screen? Is there any int or float data type? Did I mention any data type here? No. But how my compiler is executing? I didn't mention any kind of data type over here, right? So I told you, right, Python is the advanced programming language. Let's see the difference between C and Python. So here I mentioned A is equal to 10. If I type print of A, I will get the value of A. Yes or no? Let me check. Yes, I got the value of A, that is 10. Now, I just want to type one more line here, that is print type of A. So what is this type? Type is the predefined method. It will give you the data type of the A variable. So let me check it out. See, here I got the output class int. So Python compiler is very intelligent. By checking the value, 10 is an integer value, right? If I provide 10.5, let's see. See, I got float. See how intelligent it is. By checking the value, automatically it will assigning the or detecting the data type of that particular variable. In C language, we use it to give int, float, right? Boolean, or we used to give the data type manually. But here, by checking the value, whatever the value that we are providing to the variable, by checking that, automatically it will detect the data type. No need to mention the data type for the variable in Python. Let's say here I want to provide some string value. So hello is a string, right? Within the double quotes, I have mentioned it. See, I got the data type str. Str refers to the string, right? So it's very intelligent. You have to be careful with the Python. Now, type is a predefined method. So creating a variable. So Python has no command for declaring a variable. It's simply like we have to define one name for it. See, a variable is nothing but providing a name to a value, right? So a variable is created the moment you first assign a value to it. So automatically it will detect the data type, right? Now, let me define b value with a 10. So if you observe here, A has a string value, B has one integer value, right? So A is the string type, B is the integer type. So I can print the values. I can, if I want to add them, can I add both of them? Let's see. See, type error. So can only concatenate string to string, not to the integer, because it's a string value, it's integer value. You cannot concatenate. Concatenation means adding values, adding two values. You cannot add one string value with integer value. So now let me, yeah, scroll it up. So where is the error? You just observe this error part. See, I told you many times, you have to understand what is the error, where is the error, and how to solve it. Then only you will be good programmer. See, where is the error? In the line 3. So here is a line 3, clearly mentioned print a plus b. What is error? It's a predefined error. That means already defined this error can only concatenate string to string, not string to integer. Because here we are trying to add one string value with the integer value. So that's why I got the error. If I change the value of a to 7, so automatically you will get the out, right? So 7 and 10 are the integer values. You can easily add both of them. right? So now I just want to explain what is Python. So I already explained Python is a very popular language. It was uh, released in 1991. The first version of Python was released in 1991, and it's used for web development, both server side. You can also use it for the server side, and it's used for the apps. I mean, the AI tools. And see, recently we heard about DeepSeek also, right? ChatGPT. So whatever the AI tools that you are using right now, all are developed with the help of this Python. You can easily design websites using Python. You can also use it for the scripting and automation. So you can use Python for everything. So what can we do using this Python? Uh, I already explained, right? Web applications. Basically, we can design web applications uh, using Java also, but the code will be very lengthy. But whereas in Python, if you design server code also, server side coding also, the code lines, uh, as we as I already explained, Java is very lengthy. If you want to write one simple program like addition of two numbers, first you have to declare the main method, then you have to declare the variables, then you have to write the logic, then you have to print the output. But here, no main method, nothing. Just declare the variables and write the logic. You will get the output. And there is no semicolon, there is no open and closed brackets. Indentation, I will introduce. You don't worry about it. So, but you have to very careful with the indentation. Next, yeah, indentation. Let me introduce. Let's say I want to write if 10 greater than 5. Condition true or false? True, right? So now, see here I'm using colon. It's not a semicolon. I'm defining the code block. So I have to just place uh, yes. If 10 greater than 5, the condition is true, right? So here I'm using colon to define the code block. If you observe after clicking on enter, so automatically the code execution, yeah, just a minute. Yeah. So yeah, just look at the screen. After placing the colon, I'm just clicking on this enter button. So after clicking the enter button, automatically the compiler, I mean the cursor starts the location after one tab, right? So my interpreter or my notepad is asking me to type code from here after one tab space. This is called indentation. We have to leave one space to write the code block or to define the code block. So I'm going to write printf, sorry, not printf, print 5 is, sorry, 10 is greater than 5. Simply I'm writing true and else, after else also false. See, I got the output. See, this is called indentation. So indentation refers to the spaces at the beginning of the code block, where in other programming languages, the indentation in code is for the readability only. The indentation in Python is very important, very, very important. Let's say I missed the indentation. Let me execute it. See, there is an error, indentation error. That is also a predefined error expected an indented block after if statement on line 1. See, here I am defining my if block. So you have, that's if statement, you have to define the block. So if you want to define a block for this if statement, you have to use indentation. So by practice, you will get it. Okay, you don't worry. So in Python also, we have same built-in data types like a string, integer, float, right? Boolean. And we have other data types like a list, set, tuple, dictionaries. I will explain it. But for now, I just want to explain without data types, you can, without data type declaration, you can write Python programs. Okay. So now I want to explain one program. So yeah. So here I'm going to declare a value, let's say 10, b value 5, right? So in C language or in other languages, if you want swapping of two numbers, uh, swapping of two numbers in Python means we have to write a is equal to a plus b logic. I already explained this in C, right? B is equal to a minus b and a is equal to, sorry, a is equal to a minus b. So we have to follow this logic, right? A is equal to a plus b is equal to a minus b, a equal to a minus b. But in Python, without writing that logic, you can swap two numbers. So let's see. Here I have two values, a value and b value. So I have to just write a comma b is equal to b comma a. Now let me print the values. No logic, nothing. So here I'm just printing a value is, here I'm calling a, print b value is, I'm calling b. See, a value is 5, b value is 10. So just look at the screen. Here there is no arithmetic operators, there is no temporary variable. I just used a logic line, that is a equal to b, b equal to a. Just look at the screen. See, whenever I'm going to declare this particular line, a is equal to 10, automatically in the background, it will create memory for a and b. A memory, I have a 5, b, in the b memory, I'll have 10. If you observe here, there is a logic line, that is a equal to b. So, sorry, a comma b equal to b comma a, right? So here in this position, I'm assigning b value to a and a value to b. So b value, I'm assigning it to a. So automatically here I'll get 5. And after that, I'm assigning a value to b. So I'll have 10 over here. Without writing a is equal to a plus b, b is equal to a minus b, a is equal to a minus b logic, or temporary variable logic. So I'm getting the swapping of two numbers, right? If I call a value, I'll get 5. If I call b value, I'll get 10. So here is output. See, I'm assigning this b value to a value to b value. It's that simple. See, if you want to design or develop any application using Python, first you have to understand how Python programming will execute, how to write code, basic codes. So you have to understand the importance of Python, how to write code, basic code. So my only point is here, if you ignore C language, that is fine. But please don't ignore the Python language. It's very, very important because it's one of the best programming languages for the beginners because it's simple, simple to write and it's simple to understand and we can design different applications, right? So it's easy to learn and readable, right? So easy to understand, easy to develop, and we have a large community support. For example, if you have an idea to develop, in case you don't know how to start, where to start, but you are good at the basics, then the large community support is there. You can post your questions over there in the python.org website. You will get support within no time. And we have a very good libraries in Python, not in Java. So please don't ignore Python programming. So here also we have variables, data types, but we are not defining the data types manually. And we have typecasting. In Python, we have a typecasting. Before going to start my session, I just want to check the syllabus copy once. Just a minute. In first module, everything is theory, everything. So you can also check it out. Just a minute. Here is your Python syllabus. Introduction to Python, input and output functions, comments, variables, data types, integers, strings, Boolean operators, bitwise operators. Yeah, data structures. Okay. So, oops, yeah. In the third module, you have oops concepts, files, functions, modules. Okay. Exceptions, multi-threading. This is also very important. GUI programming. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Um, Input and output functions. So it's output, right? If you want to read anything from your computer, for example, if you want to um, print anything on the screen, you have to use just a print statement. And what is user input? In Python, in C, in case if you want to give any value, we have to use a scanf, a separate function, right? But here, no need to provide a different line for it. And Python allows for user input. That means we are able to ask the user for input. We can ask user to provide the input also. So let's see how to use input in Python, input method. Now I want to take one variable n and I want to read name from the user. So I just want to ask user, enter your name. So by reading this message, user will enter the name, right? So I want to print that name. Here I'm using concatenation symbol, that's a plus, because plus for the string values. Name is the string value, right? Name, it's collection of alphabets. It's not a number, right? So here I have to call this n. So let me execute it. See, execution done with exit code 0. But it should ask enter your name, then I have to type my name. After that, it should print the name, yes or no? But it just printed a name, enter your name, because you just observe the code. Here, enter your name is the string value because I declared within the double quotes. It will treat it as a string value and assign it to n variable. Now, n will have the value that is enter your name. Printf, I'm printing this statement along with the n value. N will have the enter your name. So that's why I got name colon enter your name as output. But I should read the name from the user because I want to read input value from the user. So here you have to just mention input so that input open bracket, close it bracket. So now just look at the screen. Now my compiler is waiting for my input. See, enter your name. It's blinking over there because I have written that enter your name string within the input method. So now compiler will read the input from the user. So let me enter my name, Emma. See, now n will have the input value, and here whenever I'm typing that, after typing that, so print, I got the name value that is Hema. So here I want to explain one more thing. M for marks. So input, enter, marks. So after printing here, I want to print a statement, your mark, that is M. Just look at the screen. Enter, marks, name, your marks. See, here I changed comma. Still I got the output. Plus symbol is the concatenation symbol. Let me change the plus symbol over here. Now let me execute it. I just want to try different ways. See, name Hema, your marks 34. See, if you want to concatenate two values, you can use comma or plus symbol. Anything is fine, but better to choose plus symbol. Plus is the concatenation symbol. If you want to add two string values, see, here I'm adding this string value with the name. Because two are the string values, I'm using plus symbol. And after this is the entire string value. I'm concatenating with this, so I'm using another plus symbol. Here I'm concatenating two values. Again, I used plus symbol, right? Plus symbol is used to concatenate two values. It will help you to add two values and print the output. Basically, input is a method which helps you to read the input value from the user. And there is an important point. Right now, we have this input method, but initially in Python 2.7 version, we have raw input method, RAW, raw underscore input method. So later on, after third 3.6 version, they upgraded raw underscore input method to input method because there is no meaning of that raw underscore input, right? We have to write a lot of uh, raw underscore input. So instead of that, it's quite easy to use input, right? Tomorrow I'll share you all the keywords, all the important keywords in Python. So this is important step, how to read the input from the user and how to print output. So in this example, we are reading input name input and marks from the user, and we are printing them using one simple print statement. Input and output functions. Comments. How to uh, add code comments. So here I want to write some comments like these double slashes in C language, right? So here we have to use hash symbol. Input function. So comments are not executable. So we have to use hash symbol. Comments are not executable. Next, variables. The definition of variable is the main functionality of the variable is it will provide the storage to a value, right? It will provide the storage, providing a name to a value. For example, if I want to write a is equal to 10, here a is the variable name and we are providing the name to the value 10. So next data types, we have the same data types like integer, float, and here we have strings also. In Python, we have strings. So let me explain the strings first. Because in C, we used character array for the strings, right? But here in Python, we can directly use strings. So in advanced programming languages, strings are surrounded by double quotes, double quotation marks. So here is the example. This is called one string value and here is another string value, right? So you can also use single quotes, no problem at all. Important step, let me declare one string value, a equal to so if you observe here, my string started from here, right? And let's say ended till here. But if you observe here, color got changed from green to white. So let me print my string value, print A. So there is an error. What is that? A equal to first line, syntax error, undetermined string at line 1. I used double quotes. What's the error? I used double quotes. Everything is correct. But what's the mistake? So this is called multi-line string. I'm assigning multi-line string to a variable, right? Here, multi-line. So this is called multi-line string. I'm assigning it to a variable A. Yes or no? If you want to assign a multi-line string to a variable, you have to use triple quotes, not double quotes. You have to use triple quotes. One, two, three. See the color of the text. Now let me execute it. See, there is no error. So you can write multi-line string value. You can define it. You can assign it to a string variable. But single quotes will throw you an error. So you have to use triple quotes. So next, let's say I have different functions like uh, I want to change the entire alphabets. See, these are the lowercase alphabets, right? Now I want to change them to uppercase. So you have to just type A dot upper. So automatically you will get all the alphabets to the uppercase. So there are n number of modules or n number of methods like this, upper, lower, or strip, um, modify string, concatenate string, formatting. So there are n number of string methods. Center, count, encode, find, format, index. So join, replace, refind, split, strip. So I'll explain each and every method. So you at least you have to learn the basic string methods to write or to develop any kind of application. See, what is the use of this uppercase? For example, if you are working with a banking application, if you are designing any banking application, so where you have to uh, ask user to fill the form, they might have used the lowercase letters. So, but banking application in database, you have to store the uppercase, for example. There is a rule, for example. So you can't ask the user to type only uppercase letters. Instead of that, you can automatically convert them to uppercase, right? So it's for the user convenient. They can use any case, but you can in case user gives the lowercase letter, you can automatically convert that into uppercase. So we have a such different functions. Even we have a partition, R find, split. Split the string at the specific separator. In case if there is a separator or any special symbol, you can use uh, a separator for that. And translator, it can translate to any other language. Fill, it fills the string with a specified number of values. Uh, For example, if there is a gap in between any string, if you want to fill that gap, you can automatically fill. So index values, that's for the arrays. And count how many times or how many number of times a specified value occurred in a string. So see, it's very important, these kind of functions. For example, let's say I have a Facebook profile. Let's say there is a crime investigation report. So there are n number of words. For example, let's say call recording or uh, I want to check the data. So in case if you find out one particular number, if you want to check how many times the same phone number repeated, you have to just use the count method. That count method, you have to just mention that particular number. It will give you how many times, how many number of times that particular number occurred in that particular data sheet. So that you can easily find out the number of occurrences, right? So we have a such beautiful methods in strings, especially in Python. So no need to write any single line of code. We have to just use that particular method like this upper. So I'll explain more about the Python in next classes. So here is the syllabus copy. Please go through the syllabus copy. I'll explain each and every topic with the examples. Okay. Yeah, if you have any doubts, please contact me to this mail ID. info@skillteammate.com. Just please mention your roll number and name, and please be specify with your question so that I can give you the proper and correct reply. Thanks, everybody. Good night.